Hey guys, today's video is about data warehouse. I'll introduce what the data warehouse is and talk about what it's used for. Data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, non-volatile collection of data, and it's designed in support of decision-making process. When I said decision-making process, I meant the online analytical processing, which is also called OLAP. OLAP is a software used to perform multidimensional analysis fast, and it's performed on large volumes of data, which is typically extracted from data warehouse. In fact, we can kind of get the idea of how data warehouse works from the definition of OLAP. OLAP performs multidimensional analysis, so data warehouse should be able to store multidimensional data, which is actually accomplished through multidimensional data cubes. Data cubes look like this. The axes of data cubes are dimensions, or you might call it attributes. In this case, we store three-dimensional data since there are three axes. The value in each cell is called measure. So the number 605 here means in Chicago, there are 605 phones produced in Q1. Further, the dimension can have concept hierarchy. For example, you can record the location by the region, country, city, or any units you believe to be reasonable. But among these units, there are hierarchy. In this case, the hierarchy is defined by the size of the location. Let's go back to the topic. Since OLAP has to deal with large volumes of data at high speed, data warehouse only stores summarized, integrated, or consolidated data. Therefore, the software doesn't have to do extra computation before it responds to a query. It just extracts the summarized data. Moreover, data warehouse is able to store historical data because it only keeps the summarized data. What I meant is that by excluding the daily data or the details, data warehouse has enough memory space to store data from like decades ago. Alright, let's talk about 4 characteristics of data warehouse. The first one is subject-oriented. Data warehouse is organized around major subjects. The subject can be a customer, a product, an order. By targeting a specific object, data warehouse delivers information about a thing by modeling the subject. For instance, we might want to analyze the preferences of customers based on their age, gender, job, and so on. So the thing here is basically the consumption habit. However, daily revenue is not something we would like to model, since it's more like a current operation, and it's typically stored in a relational database, not data warehouse. The second characteristic is integrated data. Data warehouse integrates many heterogeneous data sources through the process called data cleaning and integration. For instance, naming conventions and encoding structure are typically different between data sources. Participant, subject, and person refer to the same thing, but they have different names and might be confusing sometimes. The date can also be encoded in different ways. These two representations point to the same day, but it takes effort to figure it out. So what we want to do is to integrate the differences between data sources. The process of integrating the data from normal databases to data warehouse is called ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. The third one is time variant. Time variant means data is identified with a particular time period. So historical data can be retrieved from data warehouse. Say, the data is stored in a monthly basis. Then the data between February 1st and February 28th is converged to a single point, which is called February. In other words, no matter you want to retrieve the data from, say, February 5th or February 20th, you always get the same answer because the data is only identified on a monthly basis. The last one is non-volatile. It means the old data is not discarded after new data is added, which means historical data is preserved. Data warehouse can store historical data because the operational update of data is not allowed in data warehouse. The data can only be read and updated after a given period. The operational update here means the transaction processing, recovery, concurrency control mechanisms, these sorts of things in relational database. There is no such need in data warehouse. Consequently, data warehouse doesn't have to store every detailed data. Moreover, data can only be read. Basically, if you want to access the data from data warehouse, you only have to do the initial loading and you can get the data. There is no extra complex computing involved. Alright, that's the 4 characteristics of data warehouse. Thank you for watching my video and see you next time.